Good afternoon, tubers. Madam Roy back once again, wearing my Bob's Big Boy shirt. It's really hot here, so I have to wear something that's very, very thin. I didn't give you guys a lot of warning for this one. There was a reason for that. I was watching another YouTuber's video, and this topic came to me early on today, but as so many things do, it slipped my mind. I have horrible short-term memory. Um, but something in that video I was watching, it was, believe it or not, a scrapping video, triggered this memory. And I wanted to get this information out there before I forgot it again. And unfortunately, that's just the way my memory is. I have very good long-term memory, but very bad short-term memory. So give everybody a couple of minutes to get here. I'm nursing a cup of coffee right now. George Blakely, Harold K., and Lee Gibbs is here. I've seen some different people here for the live streams. I'm liking that. I'm very, very glad that we're getting some different people here. That way everybody has a chance to come and see what everything's about. Now, I'll go ahead and get started because a lot of people, of course, are at work and they're going to have to watch this later on. But the topic of this particular live stream is you are working out all wrong. And what I mean by that is the majority of people out there that are working out either for weight loss, as I am, or just to stay fit. It doesn't matter. Generally, they're doing it the wrong way. Now, I'm going to read something here from QDT, Quick and Dirty Tips. Whether your goal is fat loss, muscle gain, performance enhancement, or longevity, study after study has proven that paying attention to the SAD principle is one of the most important things you can do. Simply put, SAD basically means specific adaptation to imposed demands. Now, I'm not going to sit here and read the whole thing, but the idea is your body, when it comes to SAD, your body gets used to your workout. In other words, if you are doing the same workout day in and day out, you are eventually going to see very little or even no benefits from that workout. And this is something that I had to learn later on in my weight loss goals. And the reason I learned this was, I would say over the last 3 or 4 months, I've actually not lost a pound. I'm not kidding. You guys know that have watched my channel for any length of time that about 4 months ago, I think I put a video up that boasted that I broke the 220-pound barrier. I think at that point I was like 217 or 218 pounds. Well, guess what? 3+ months later, that's where I am. I am still right around that 217, 218-pound mark. And in my case, a lot of it does have to do with the fact that's where my body should be. Again, I'm a big guy, so for me to lose any more than that, it's going to be very difficult. But part of the problem was I was doing the same thing day in and day out. And I'll give you guys a quick synopsis of that. I would get out of bed, go downstairs, make my breakfast, usually oatmeal and a banana and coffee. And then I would get up. I would march in place, maybe for an hour or so, watching some old reruns of Murphy Brown, usually, just a show I like to watch in the morning. And then Mom and I would usually go walk somewhere. We might walk the bike path, or we might go down to Smithfield and walk Windsor Castle State Park. It'd be a brisk walk, walking maybe 2.5 to 3 miles per hour. And I'd come home, eat lunch, and then after lunch, I'd do the same marching in place, do some exercises around the house, lift weights. And, that would be pretty much it. And doing that, plus all the other walking I would do during the day for, my normal tasks, I would get to maybe about 20 to 25,000 steps. Here's the problem. Now that I got my Fitbit, I was realizing that even when I was walking briskly, my heart rate would never get above 105 to 110 beats per minute. The problem there is to get fat burning, to get into that fat burning zone, your heart rate for somebody my age, you'd have to look at the chart for yourselves, but for somebody my age, needs to be in the 125 to 145 beat per minute range. So the problem being, my body actually got used to the workout that I was doing, and it really wasn't getting my heart rate up enough. So what do you do about that? Well, you vary your workouts. I've changed one thing, and it has made a humongous impact in the way my weight loss and fitness goals have gone. And that is, I have added cycling or bike riding. Now, it's just not a normal bike ride. Normal bike ride, might be riding 5, 6, 7 miles an hour. I push myself. I make sure I go at least 12 to 15 miles per hour. And when I'm at that point where I'm physically exerting myself bike riding, you would think that it wouldn't get your heart rate up as much as walking. In my case, it does. My heart rate for the time that I bike ride, which is usually about an hour and winds up being about 13 miles, because again, my average 13 miles an hour. So I'll do 13 miles in 1 hour. That's right. While I'm bike riding, my heart rate will average anywhere between 125 to about 145, maybe up to 150 beats per minute if I really push myself. So basically, if you are in the same boat as I am, you've plateaued and you're not losing weight anymore, then what you got to try to do is vary your workouts. And it doesn't necessarily have to be cycling or bike riding. You could try jogging. You could try running. There are elliptical machines in the gym that, believe it or not, will work differently on your body. So again, if you're in good physical condition, like I am right now, and brisk walking and maybe even jogging doesn't work for you, then you're going to have to try something else like cycling or an elliptical. There are a lot of different options there. And I know a lot of you out there have told me that you do the aerobic side, but not the weightlifting or the strength building side. And that is very important. So if you're a physically fit, doing aerobic exercise, the best thing to do for your body is try to incorporate the strength training, or the layman's terms, the weightlifting side, because believe it or not, that will also help to raise your heart rate when you're doing it, and it'll also help you build muscle. Now, you also need to be eating right. And I've talked a lot about this before. You need to stay away from really high fat foods, anything super processed. So those of you out there that are fast food junkies, give it up. Fast food is going to kill your weight loss plan, your lifestyle change, your diet, whatever you're going to call it. You need to stick with high protein. For lunch, I usually have chicken salad, and I do have some carbs. I have 2 big slices of bread, but it's bread that I make at home, so it has no preservatives, and it doesn't have it doesn't actually have any of the corn syrup, the high fructose corn syrup that, believe it or not, you find in a lot of highly processed breads. Cobblestone, Pepperidge Farm. Look on your bread label next time you buy it. I can almost guarantee you it's going to have high fructose corn syrup in it. Still don't know why they do that. They really don't have to. They really don't need to put much sugar in there at all. So we got Cameron Lindau says hi. Markvington is here. I got quite a few people here. Nice. So we got 9 watchers. But whoever's here, and again, we got 9 people here. If you are interested in the fitness portion of my life and you have any questions for me, this will be the time to ask them. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to do another one of these, mainly because we have company coming in, and it's just going to be really hard to be doing live streams. Danny K said I was 217, so my weight when he started this, and I dropped down to 179 doing Sean T's T25, but I could not get lower than 179. Well, in that case, that might mean that's where your body is meant to be. Now, if you don't mind, Danny, can you give me your height and build? Are you a big frame person like I am, medium frame, small frame? Because I could maybe help you out a little bit there if you're comfortable giving that information. I never force anybody. Markvington asks, hey Matt, can working at and walking around the golf course be considered good exercise? It can, but you got to remember, you need to keep the pace up. If you're just walking at a normal walking pace, like maybe 2.5 miles per hour, chances are you're not going to get a lot of cardio benefit out of that. You need to do a power walk. There are a lot of ways you can figure out how fast you're walking. One of the easiest ways is to use a pedometer app. If you have a smartphone, any smartphone, you can download these apps. I just use one that's called Pedometer. And you can see right there, it tells me how fast I'm walking, the average speed that I'm walking during the day. So it'll take you about a day to find that information out. But once you know that, then you can apply that to your walking and hopefully get the pace up a little bit. Because a lot of people ask me that. They're like, Matt, how do I know how fast I'm walking? Well, if you have a smartphone, that's really the easiest way to do it. I'm going to read something really quick here. A recent study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research looked at this very question. In the study, researchers looked at the effects of 4 different training methods on muscle response of the quadricep leg muscle. So basically your lower leg muscles. And the maximum strength in the back squat during 12-week time period, they split the participants into 5 groups. So let me see. So group 1 did 8. Group 1 did consistent intensity and consistent exercise. In this case, 8 repetitions of the squats. The other group did the squats, deadlift, lunge, and leg presses. Group 3 did VICE, which is varied intensity, consistent exercise, and did squats, and they varied 6 to 10 reps. And sure enough, the groups that had the more varied types of exercise had the better results. So that just proves my point that you need to be varying the different types of exercise. Oh, thank you, Cameron. Cameron Lindow subbed. I guess we lost Danny K there. But again, when it comes to weight loss and plateaus, during your weight loss journey, you're going to plateau. When I went from 350 to 317 or 217, 218, where I am now, I plateaued at, 320, 280, 240, and pretty much at 220 for the longest time. The secret is that after about a month, if you're still plateaued, then chances are that's probably where your body's telling you need to be. And if you're not cheating. Now, that's a big if, because let's face it, we're humans. We have weaknesses. We'll want to go out and have a strawberry milkshake at night once in a while, or maybe go out on the weekend with our buddies and scarf down a few McDonald's McDoubles. If you're cheating and you're plateaued or you're gaining weight, well, there's your answer right there. But if you're doing the best that you possibly can, if you are sticking firm to your diet and you still plateaued, then there really isn't much else you could do other than what we've discussed here. All right, tubers, I'm going to end this live stream here. This was never going to be a super long one. I just wanted to get that out there. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.